What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Late Night Crunch. Real quick, I want to say at the end of the video, I will briefly be talking about Borderlands 4. I am playing it and streaming it on Twitch, but there's no videos for that yet. Today, we're talking about the Black Ops 7 open beta, which I have been playing a fair amount in the last couple days. We're going to talk about zombies and we're going to talk about multiplayer. Starting off with multiplayer because I have less to say about it and I want to save the best for last. So zombies, we'll talk about zombies in a few minutes. Just a little more preamble. I haven't played Call of Duty as much as I used to. Black Ops 3 was my biggest and best game. I played the absolute shit out of it. And then I played BO4 quite a lot as well. The multiplayer was insanely good in my opinion. And then I've sort of just dropped off little by little since then. I have played every game since then except for Modern Warfare 3, which even that I did download when they put it on Game Pass, and I played a few matches, but overall I've been dropping off slowly from the series pretty heavily. But anyways, we'll start with some pros for the Black Ops 7 multiplayer with all that out of the way. It is a beta, so obviously, you know, stuff can change, mostly tuning. People always say, like, stuff will change, but we all really know it's just going to be tuning changes. The maps are pretty colorful, which is great because lately it feels like COD has been pretty fucking washed out, pretty gray and pretty green and pretty just lifeless. So Treyarch used to have a lot of vibrance in their games, and it kind of feel like they weren't able to do that for a while. But I will say Black Ops 7 feels pretty colorful on the few maps that were available. Though keep in mind, it's only a small sample size of the, I believe, 15 original maps and 3 remakes. So 18 total maps will be in the final release. So we only got a handful of those. I think 4, maybe 5. But they felt pretty good, and they were designed pretty well. I don't feel like any of the maps kind of sucked. Like, it felt like in Black Ops 6, some of the maps were just fucking terrible, like Array. The one at the big satellite dish, oh my god, that map felt like dog shit. And then I think Modern Warfare 2, the remake, the highway with all the cars, this one felt pretty good. I didn't feel like any of these maps were complete trash. They felt pretty fun to play. And that actually kind of ties into my next point. The jump kick off the wall, I fucking love it. It doesn't feel too much like a gimmick to me. Like, it feels like it meshes very well with the new maps. And there's never a time where I feel like, damn, this shit is useless. Like, you know what I mean? I always see somebody in a high up spot, or I see somebody up in a window, and I always feel like I have the opportunity to just get right up in there no matter what. Or at least I can chain some crazy shit when I'm jumping around a corner, and like, it just feels great. I've seen some people complaining that it's like a half-baked advanced movement system, and it is, but I don't think that it's truly half-baked. I think that it's just sort of lore-wise, it's like the first steps to the jetpacks thing, but gameplay wise, it just feels good. Like, it feels like a good advanced system that's not quite jetpacks yet, you know? Like, it feels helpful. And I feel like there were places on a lot of maps where I could creatively get to wherever I wanted to go, really, and I could chain movement together, and it just was satisfying. It feels really good to use this move. Like, if you play the game, it feels just fluid. It feels like it's actually built pretty well, you know? It's a well-made mechanic. It just feels good to play. So the time to kill feels good. I don't feel like people are, you know, completely made out of paper, but I also don't feel like they're tanks. Feels like it's in a pretty good place. I did see health bars. My first few days of the beta, I saw health bars and I actually quite liked it. I like Black Ops 4 multiplayer a lot, and the health bars here reminded me of that. Some of my games, they disappeared. I don't know why. I think it was just a glitch because I'm in the beta and, you know, shit's kind of weird sometimes, but hopefully that's not as glitchy in the main game. But I do like the health bars, and the time to kill feels very, it feels very well balanced the way it is right now. And now, again, I don't play COD every fucking year for like, you know, 10 hours a day, so maybe the time to kill is crazy, but to me, it feels pretty good. I don't feel like I had to put a million bullets into anybody, and I feel like when they should have died, they did die. Except for a couple situations where maybe I was hitting shins instead of necks, but that's on me. Most guns feel pretty good as well. They don't feel like any particular gun is being overused. There's nothing like the Brecci in Black Ops 3 or the 701 shotgun, I think it was, in Modern Warfare 19. They all feel like they've got an equal shot at winning the fights they're meant for. I don't think that I saw a single gun being like used by everybody. I don't think I saw any meta gun. I don't feel like I saw a meta gun, or, you know, I didn't get killed by the same thing like 100 times. You know what I mean? It feels like there's a pretty good variety. Even though the beta only had a limited amount of weapons, I still felt like I saw a little bit of every one of them in my matches. Now keep in mind, this is not true for zombies, but we'll get there later. We will fucking get there later. And throughout my whole experience in the beta, I only saw a single hacker, which is a pretty fucking good sign. While that single person does have a microcock, it's a good sign that the beta wasn't riddled with cheaters. I think when I played Modern Warfare 3, there was actually quite a few cheaters, and in Black Ops 6. It's obviously becoming more and more of a problem, and Activision kind of has done a shitty job at doing anything about it, but I am happy to say that my beta experience only had one hacker, and it was actually one of my most recent games. So for the first few days, I had none. It was great. Now the game, I will say, when I first loaded into it, it did feel different. Like, it's a lot like Black Ops 6, but I can't lie, when I first loaded into my first game, it just immediately felt different. It felt a lot like Infinite Warfare, which is weird to say in a new age Call of Duty, but I think it was mostly the HUD being so circular and kind of space themed. It's looking a little weird, but it's looking a lot like Infinite Warfare, at least in my memory. Now, before I recorded this video, I did not go back and look at Infinite Warfare to see if I'm accurate at all or if it looks completely different, but it just feels that way. You know what I mean? Like, playing this game feels that way. Not to mention the color palette. While I did say it's vibrant, it feels still a little bit like an old Infinity War game. There's something of like a softness to the way it looks, or I'm not really sure. It's hard to explain, but there's something artistic about it that makes it feel different. Not necessarily in a good way, but not in a bad way either. It just does feel different, which is important to me because every Call of Duty since 2020 has felt fucking identical, basically, just with a new coat of paint. I say 2020 because I consider 2019 Modern Warfare to kind of be its own thing. Like, it started the new age, and if things had actually changed from that point forward, as they used to do, then 2019 would be allowed to have its own fucking identity with the new engine and everything like that. So since 2020, they've all felt the same to me, and this game is the first one that actually has a different kind of vibe going for it, which I don't really see people saying online. I see people saying that it feels like Black Ops 6.5, which on zombies, I think 100% it does. Absolutely 100% feels like 6.5, but multiplayer definitely has a different vibe to it. Campaign, obviously there's no campaign in the beta, but I have not played a Call of Duty campaign since Black Ops 3, I think. Or I think I played the Modern Warfare 19 campaign through and front to back. But besides that, I have not touched Call of Duty campaign in many years. So I don't know if the art style will look different on that end. I mean, we're just gonna have to see what it looks like when it comes out, and you'll have to see what the people say who actually play campaign. I am not that person. Now, the last good point that I have about multiplayer is they have fucking finally listened about SBMM, skill-based matchmaking. They have finally, after all these years, made a playlist that has the classic matchmaking system. Now, this seems like a gimmick, and people were already immediately talking about it maybe being a placebo, where they just said it's different, and so we play it and it's not actually different. But I don't know, dude. I played quite a bit of the beta before this playlist, and then I played quite a bit in the playlist, and I definitely felt a difference. I felt like in the classic matchmaking system, I could, I play a match and there's an equal chance that I go fucking terrible, like 7 kills, 32 deaths. That is not a random number, or I go 4 times positive. You know what I mean? Like, it felt like there was a fair shake at any outcome, which is great. That's how I used to feel in the games. Like, when I spammed Black Ops 3, that's all I played for days on end, and I would feel at that time like there was a lot of times I could stomp a public lobby, but there was a lot of times where I'd get my ass handed to me as well. It felt like an equal chance of either one happening, and that's how this new mode feels. I don't think it's placebo. I don't hope it's placebo, but if they've genuinely gone back on their SBMM fucking laws, then maybe we're in for a good year. It's one of the biggest reasons why I stopped playing Call of Duty, and I think it's probably the biggest reason a lot of people stop playing Call of Duty, is that if you play for an hour on a new age game, you have a single good game, or maybe if you're blessed, you get 2 good games in a row, and then you're put with fucking diamond players. You're put with like a pro league players, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? I'm playing with people who can go 30-1 in a fucking pro league. Like, this is not okay. And it happened every fucking game. It was just miserable, dude. But I was playing this new playlist, and even like 10 or 12 games in, I could find dipshits looking at walls and people that I can outplay, and I am below average player these days. Like, I am not good at Call of Duty anymore, and I know that. But I could still find people that were considerably worse than me that I could dog on. And while that's probably unfair to that person, it's kind of just the way it is. It's the luck of the draw. I am that person to somebody else. They can dog on me when they see me in a public match. You know what I mean? It's just the way the game used to work, and it was fun. You have bad games and you have good games, and we have that back, at least in this playlist. Fan-fucking-tastic change. I hope they keep it, and I hope it's not placebo. Now let's talk about some of the negatives of multiplayer. There's only a couple that I really have bad pain points with. The HUD is kind of ugly, but that's across all modes, and they preach and preach about HUD customization in this game, so we just have to kind of see what happens when it comes out. On that note, though, my minimap was like broken. I don't really know if it was by design or accident. Maybe the beta just has a busted minimap, but my shit was just a circle with player arrows on it. There was no map information, no layout, no lines, no nothing. It was just a circle in the corner of my screen with a bunch of arrows running around. I don't know what the hell was going on there. I tried turning it on and off. Some matches it wouldn't be there at all, and it was broken. I don't know what the fuck's up with the minimap, but if this little circle design is final, it looks fucking terrible. I will say that. Like, it didn't even work, but it still just looked really ugly along with the rest of the HUD. But another weird thing I experienced was the shotguns. Earlier I said all the guns feel good and they play good, and that was true. But the shotguns, while they are pretty powerful, they feel very, very weird to use. I don't know if this is just a me thing, but it feels like they're firing incorrectly. The single shot shotgun is designed that way. It says, if you look at the description, it says something about like you can charge your shot to make it more accurate, to kind of tighten the spread of the pellets. But that leads to the shot only firing once you release the trigger, which if you picture in your mind, you know, most of the time you aim a gun with the left trigger, you push right and you're firing immediately. This one, you push the right trigger and maybe you hold it for a second, or maybe you don't even hold it, but you just push it and let go. The bullet does not come out of the gun until you've completely let go of the trigger. And it sounds simple and it sounds like it wouldn't be a problem, but when you actually use the gun, it feels fucking weird. Like, I felt like I had crazy input delay every time I tried to use this gun. It just did not feel right. The other shotgun is meant to be like a bam bam reload, bam bam reload, like not reload but rechamber. Like, it was, I don't know how to describe that as far as actual gun words, but that's what I'm gonna do. Bam bam reload, bam bam reload. And it felt weird too. It just felt like it wasn't shooting right. I don't know what's going on with that one, because that one shouldn't be designed to fire upon release. At least it didn't say anything like that in the description, but it just felt fucking wrong, which was a little sad. So those are both of the shotgun options in the beta. I really wish that the pump shotgun was not designed that way, but I don't know. Maybe it's fantastic if you get good at using it. I did not like it. There was a few times where I tried using it as intended, where I'd like try to go for a long range shot and charge it up for a minute, and it was all right, but I wasn't getting any like long range kills or anything like that. And by long range, I mean like 15, 20 meters away, you know? So I don't really understand the purpose of this, but I do not like the state of the two shotguns that I did experience. Now, it's not a really big con, but kind of a con is just the end screen. Like, this has been the case for a few years. They're trying to capitalize on that old emote thing that we had in Black Ops 3. It was done really well then, but they have not gotten it the same quality since. And we're still just sitting on this awkward fucking, you've got your little radial wheel of emotes and they all suck and it's just quiet. Nobody's saying anything. There's no sounds. It's just a little odd. And it's been this way for years. So it's not really a Black Ops 7 con. It's just a new age Call of Duty con. Actually, a quick pro that I forgot to mention. In the SBMM playlist, or the non-SBMM playlist, people were actually talking. I don't know what it is, but the classic matchmaking system brought out the fun and casual side of people playing the game again. Like, people were chatting in game. Not all of it was English, so I don't know what the hell they were saying, but people were talking in the text chat. I got some interactions with people. They were talking to me. I was talking to them. We were talking about zombies in multiplayer, just typing in chat. Like, it was so casual and it was so friendly sometimes. Now, you know, some people talk shit too, and they talk shit to me and I talk shit to them, but it was like actual interaction in COD multiplayer, which I have not seen in a long time. People just felt comfortable and they were having a good time, you know? It was great. Anyways, that's all I got at the moment for multiplayer. So let's move on to zombies. So they have a Dark Ops calling card in the beta for getting to round 50, which I tried to get yesterday. I tried to get it. And they gave you quite a few gobblegums for the beta. They gave you powerful ones, like, you know, they gave you Perkaholic and they gave you the new 30K, I don't know what the hell it's called, credit card or something like that. It's like extra credit and shopping free kind of fused into a worse version of both. You get 30K points instantly. It's all right, but it doesn't go far in the new age. So anyways, they give you a bunch of these strongest gobblegums, and I was like, all right, the beta's gonna end soon. None of my homies are playing. You know, we already got our sessions in, so I'm just gonna use most of these gobblegums. I'm gonna try to smack it to round 50 and just blow through it. No problem. So I used the Perkaholics, and I used the money, and I used the hidden power to upgrade my gun to legendary rarity, and I used the Wunderbar to get the ray gun and everything. I was fucking setting up round 7, bro. I was set up 2 guns, pack 3. One of them was a ray gun Mark II. They were all legendary. My melee was legendary. My melee was pack 3. Everything was beautiful. And then the fucking game crashed and I lost all of it. They did not autosave my game for me because there's a save and quit function, so they did not autosave. My gobblegums were gone when I came back in because it's always online now. There's no home screen, you know, close app. There's no saving them. So everything was gone and I was fucking pissed off. And I almost quit the challenge just because of that. But even though that really sucked, maybe it was a good thing because it forced me to have to put some effort into reaching round 50. And it's not like I didn't have any gobblegums. I just didn't have the very best ones. So anyways, once again, the HUD is fucking atrocious. I don't know what they're smoking the last 5 years, but these HUDs have just fucking sucked. And they're only finally coming around to our way of seeing it a little bit by giving us options to turn stuff off. But immediately turn off health bars, immediately turn off damage numbers, turn off the medals, the rewards, turn off all that shit. You'll have a much cleaner experience. Even with all that turned off, you still can't turn off the little gun in the corner, and you can't turn off the health bar and all that kind of shit, but you can turn off a lot of it, and I appreciate that. Hopefully in the full release you can turn off more. But anyways, starting with the pros again, the map, beautiful. Aesthetically, it's beautiful. The lighting is great. It finally feels like they're actually taking this dark ether thing to a nice, creative, and pretty place. Like, since the dark ether has began, it just felt cheap and it felt creatively bankrupt to me. Like, it always has kind of been a little boring. Maybe that's because I was so pissed off that the ether fully died that I'm like, ew, the dark ether, that's such a lame version of what I used to love. So I've always been kind of hating it. It feels like they're actually going a little bit crazy the way that they should have been with the setting that they've put themselves in. So the skybox is all, you know, it's got swirls and looks like galaxies and energy and all kinds of weird shit. The lighting is pretty creepy. It's got this kind of purpley bluish tone to it, and it looks creepy. There's a lot of fog and everything like that. It looks aesthetically really pretty. I really hope that, you know, we keep this level of quality throughout the year and we don't go back to facilities anytime soon, because this is a great departure. Now, this is only a tiny portion of the map, and I actually didn't really watch COD Next a whole lot, so I don't know what the rest of the map looks like. But I know we're doing like POIs and we have the truck and everything like that, and we'll get to that in the cons part. But as far as positives, the map is beautiful, and the sounds are disgusting. Extremely fucking disgusting. They're nasty. The zombies sound gross. The bullets hitting them sounds gross. The bear sounds gross. Everything sounds disgusting in the best way. It's nasty. The bear especially looks fucking awful, but in a good way. He looks like a zombie bear, you know? And he's pretty tanky, which I don't mind too much. He's definitely a challenge on a small survival map, but I think on the full Ashes of the Damned, it should be easier with all that space, plus, you know, augments and everything else. The PAP camo is absolutely sick, and the PAP guns sound awesome, which they did start last year with Black Ops 6. The PAP guns sound great again. I think in Cold War, they had the PAP gun shooting sound fused with a regular gun shooting sound, and it just didn't sound very good. Anyways, as far as actual like aesthetic quality and audio quality and all that kind of stuff, we're in a good place here. I will say I did have fun getting to round 50. I was pissed off the game crash, but overall the gameplay loop and everything like that, like, it was a good time. There was a few moments in the game where I thought I had completely lost it, and I was in the zone, you know, and I was mad, and I was kind of loving it. You know what I mean? Like, I had a fun time playing it, even though I had already played it quite a few times in the beta. Like, it was enjoyable. Now let's get on to cons. It's a short list on both of these, but cons. The guns feel pretty weak early on. Mid-20s to mid-30s, you just feel the damage fall off a fucking cliff. Absolute nosedive. It did take me a while to get my guns gold due to the scrap grind, but even still, PAP 3 purple guns should be able to kill later in the rounds than they do. It makes me feel desperate to get the Mark II, which is kind of disappointing because I just want to play with all the guns. Like, I don't want the guns to feel useless and everything relies on the wonder weapon. You know what I mean? It also took me fucking forever to get the Mark II, so I was screwed without it, and I had to rely on these damn bullet guns. They also just don't sound very good if they're not PAP. They don't feel like punchy like they used to. The M8 is a good example of it. My buddy Sal disagreed with me. He said that it sounds like the old M8, but I just think it sounds kind of weak. It just sounds soft. Like, a lot of the guns sound pretty soft. That's why I like the PAP sound so much, because they sound, first of all, they sound like Black Ops 2, but they also just sound like they're actually killing things. Sounds good. But that goes for all the guns, except for the wonder weapons, obviously, but all of the guns had this kind of soft feel to them. They didn't sound too great, and they were not killing very good, especially in, you know, just the 20s. You get anything out of the box in the 20s, and you're going to be putting half of the fucking ammo capacity into a single zombie. Like, it's just a little crazy how fast the standard zombie becomes a bullet sponge. Not very good, although the augments and full release will obviously change this a little bit. We'll be more powerful players, and, you know, things will change, but not enough to, I think, not enough to excuse all tuning. They should probably tune this a little bit. Pretty big point here. It feels a lot like Black Ops 6, which sucks a little bit, as zombies has kind of just been a blurry fucking mess since we left off BO3 and 4. It feels like BO3 was like weightlessly dancing around the planets. Then BO4 was kind of a free fall back to the atmosphere. And Cold War was the meteor that fucking smashed down to the earth in little bits and chunks. Vanguard then blew a fissure into the earth just to fall even further, and nothing has crawled out since. Black Ops 6 came the closest to witnessing the surface again, and I guess BO7's a few feet above it, but neither one is feeling the sunshine yet. We're still in the trenches, boys. We've already had these systems and unlockables for a year. They're adding the bare minimum with new augments, but it's like 1 or 2 augments per perk and ammo mod, whereas Black Ops 6 came out with like 3 and 3, or I guess 6 total augments for every every item, every gameplay enhancement. So there was a ton to unlock last year, but this year we're already starting with like 80%, 85% of the stuff unlocked. There's very little to do once the game comes out. So it's essentially just a year 2 of Black Ops 6 with a full game price tag on it. Fucking sweet. $70 or $80 or whatever you choose to pay for it. It's kind of insane. It's basically just a DLC. The same way that we made fun of Modern Warfare 3 for being a $70 DLC, that's where we're at with Black Ops 7. I've heard rumors about the first DLC being a nuked out New York zombies map, and that would be fucking awesome. But we just have to kind of wait and see. Ashes of the Damned looks pretty promising, but they got to come in swinging if they want it to land, because right now it really just feels like Black Ops 6.5 in zombies. In multiplayer, I don't think that's the case, but in zombies, we definitely feel like we've already played this game. This is just a nice new map to enjoy. Quick interjection, I was just editing the video and I forgot that I felt quite a bit of rage during my beta stream for zombies, for one very particular reason. Why the fuck are we reusing mini bosses? The goddamn Doppelgast is here, bro. Why? I crashed out on this on stream for a little while, but the Doppelgast from Citadel Daymore, who, by the way, featured in every fucking map after that, is back in the new game. Why is this the thing? The Zursa bear and the Ravagers, little fucking crawling thingies, that's plenty. That's plenty of unique identity for the map. I absolutely hate that they're reusing mini bosses. I'm not going to go on the whole tangent because I did it on stream. Maybe I'll rip a clip from there and I'll put it here. And it was not repeated every fucking map. And they gave variations to the boss, so there's different versions of it. And they played a part in the fucking Easter egg, I believe. And the Margle was cool. He was so unique. Big three-headed lizard dog, man. He was cool. The amalgamation is just a fucking genetically ruined Margwa. It's like they took him and stretched him out in Photoshop, stuck him back in the game, and said now he acts like a puppy. He's a puppy. God, man, I just needed to break the seal. Modern Zombies pisses me off. It really fucking pisses me off. Why do we have score streaks in zombies? Why can I use a chopper gun on a fucking farm? Why? In the Dark Ether, why? The game has lost quite a bit of what it used to be, you know? And every time I see videos about it, people talking about it, they're always like, there are fans of the new style of zombies. Where? Where the fuck are the new fans, man? I have not heard anybody say they like the new stuff compared to the old stuff. I've never heard that opinion. I was fucking pissed off, and I'm really worried that there's going to be manglers back again, even though they fucking started in Black Ops 3, and they've been in every game since then. Let them die. Please let him die. We don't need the fucking mangler anymore. He doesn't make sense. He hasn't made sense in years. Leave it behind. Make new shit. Thank you. Back to the video. And that's just, frankly, that's just not worth the price tag. Like, if this game was, you know, a $10, $15 upgrade, that's fine. But paying full price for this just does not feel worth it. So I would not recommend paying for it. I would recommend playing it off of Game Pass, but fucking even Game Pass is jacking that price up. So it's looking more and more like less COD sales to me, especially to my wallet. Overall, I think Black Ops 7 has a good chance to be great. I think the multiplayer feels pretty solid. I'm really excited to see some of the maps that they showed in the trailer because they look, you know, they look pretty. They look vibrant like Treyarch used to do consistently. Everybody's memeing on the whole 3-lane design and all that, but I mean, a lot of that's just kind of buzzwords and it's just marketing. So if you look past all that shit and actually play the game, it's obviously Call of Duty. It's a new Call of Duty. We know how these play, but this one is a little different. And I really, really like the wall jumping. I have to say again, it feels very well made and it feels like it applies to a lot of different situations you'll find yourself in. It's always usable. As far as zombies, I'm still kind of a standout. Like, I don't like New Age zombies. It's just not that great. But this is the best that New Age zombies has been, which is, you know, good comparing it to all the last zombies of the last 5 years. It's nowhere near where we used to be, but maybe I just have to let go of that goal. You know, maybe I just have to burn down that fucking flag and forget I ever saw it. You know, that's starting to feel how we should look at the game. That's about it for my beta review. I'm probably going to stop playing the game. I might throw in a couple more multiplayer matches, but overall, that's where I'm feeling with Black Ops 7 right now. Would I buy it? No. I'm currently playing it on the Game Pass, and I'm going to cancel my Game Pass as soon as I can because that shit is too much money now. I am not going to buy the game, so I'm likely not going to play it at all unless Game Pass realizes they're crazy and reduces the price again, or I don't know, dude. Game goes on sale for $10. I'm probably not going to play it unless Zombies looks fucking insane. I'm probably just not going to play this game. So no, I would not buy it. Is it a step up from Black Ops 6? Very slightly, yes. It's not $70 of a step up, but it is a step up. I really hope that the new HUDs look cool. They teased the Black Ops 3 HUD, which is, oh no, they didn't even tease it. It leaked. And I don't know if I believe it still, to be honest, because it was literally like asset ripped from Black Ops 3. So it was a one-to-one recreation. I don't know if I believe it. Because of that, it looked a little fishy. But if it's the case, why didn't they show that shit before? Like, why would they not show that to us? They know everybody wants to see that shit and they're just gonna like let it leak. That seems dumb to me. If they land, then they land and the HUDs will be cool. I really wish I could turn more of this shit off my screen, and if I can, that'll be sweet. We shall see how the year goes. So that's all the Call of Duty stuff out of the way. Before I close out the video, I want to say I am playing Borderlands 4. I'm streaming it on Twitch. I'm uploading the streams to my VODs channel. All of that will be linked in the description if you want to watch me play it. I have been busy as hell this summer with work. I have not made content at all. And so when I have time, I'm streaming Borderlands 4. And I did stream a little bit of this beta as well. So if you want to see my streams, if you want to see my content when I have spare moments to make it, go to my Twitch, catch a stream. And that's the most consistent way you can find me. And even that's inconsistent. I would love to do content more often. I just really don't have the time right now. I'm making this video because I found a little bit of time on my hands, So I apologize for taking so long off of YouTube. Promise you, I'm still here. All right? All right. Anyways, that being said, this has been the Late Night Crunch. Thank you for tuning in, and I will catch you next time. See ya!